Hello everyone, welcome to a tropical weather checkup for September 2nd. Today we're going to be looking at Typhoon Maysak, Typhoon Haisen, Tropical Storm Omar, and Tropical Storm Nana. Very busy day today in the tropics. And this is the look at Maysak finally making landfall in South Korea. Here's the cloudfall. It looks a lot like Typhoon Bavi, that northern side, very strong, and wow, that southern eye wall has completely fallen to pieces. Here's the water temperature, not really going to matter considering land interaction is going to kill this storm off. Past 24-hour precipitation, you can see that all of that rain in the area where it is passed. Taking a look at wind speed, you can see already starting to affect some cities on the South Korean coast, like Busan is definitely going to be one of the most affected cities if you live in Seoul as well. Also, North Korea could get affected by the storm. China, when it becomes extratropical, will also be affected by this storm. Here's the intensity: 105 mile per hour winds and moving north-northeast at 20 miles per hour. As we go on throughout the day, it will move up through South Korea and then move into China and become extratropical. And here's a look at Haishen, which is currently out in the Pacific. It is just barely a typhoon right now, but they're saying it can get up to Category 4 status. Looks a lot more organized than Maysak, as Maysak has started being broken apart by that land interaction in South Korea. Cloudfall, again, you can see much more organized than Maysak. Unlike Maysak, Haishen will be affected by the water temperatures, and not in a good way for South Korea or Japan, as the water temperatures are very warm as it will move up to landfall in South Korea. Will also come very close to Japan, so definitely don't write this storm off if you live in Japan. Here's past 24-hour precipitation, that massive white area. It's where the storm is passed through. You can really see the massive area of purple. That is where Haishen currently is. That eye starting to form in the middle, and those wind speeds, you can see there's starting to be a larger area of wind speed. Here's the intensity for Haishen: 80 mile per hour winds and moving west-northwest at 10 miles per hour. It will continue on that west-northwest track until it makes a sudden jolt towards the northwest more, and then will most likely come very close to Japan and then hit South Korea as maybe a Category 3, Category 2. Don't write Category 4 out of the question, though. And here's the look at Omar, which will be very similar to Kyle, as it will not affect anybody really. Kyle was a lot bigger, so it affected a couple states, but Omar is so far out to sea. The only place that it could really affect a little bit is Bermuda. As you can see by cloudfall, very disorganized. I mean, it's not going to get that much more organized before it weakens down to a tropical depression and fades away like Kyle did. Water temperatures warm for the time being, but will most likely get colder, and then it will weaken down into a post-tropical storm. Here's a look at past 24-hour precipitation. You can see there's a good area where the storm has passed of purples and yellows. That's where the storm has passed through within the past 24 hours. Wind speeds, you can see that good amount of dark blue. You can see Bermuda definitely is going to get some around 16 kilometer per hour winds, which, I mean, those are pretty fast winds. Don't write them out of the question, but still will not be that detrimental to Bermuda. The intensity currently 40 mile per hour winds, 1,003 millibars, moving east at 13 miles per hour. As we go on, it will strengthen a bit, but then most likely weaken down. And by the way, the Weather Channel app is currently broken. It says miles per hour. That's actually in kph, kilometers per hour, not miles per hour. And now we're going to the Weather Channel website to see the infrared, and I will show you that it really is miles per hour. I mean, kph, not miles per hour. The Weather Channel app's a bit glitchy right now, and I'll show you that when we go over to Nana. That was the infrared, though. You can see very disorganized, and here is the water vapor outlook for Omar. Going over to the cone, no watches or warnings in effect for the storm again. Not really expected to affect anywhere except Bermuda a little bit. You could see a couple of scattered thunderstorms throughout the next day or two. Chance of tropical storm force winds, nothing on any landmass, and all the models say the same thing, no land interaction. Now going over to Nana, this is a storm that can actually do some kind of damage, definitely to Central America, most likely Belize and Guatemala will be the most affected by the radar imagery. Again, very disorganized, but definitely more organized than Omar is. Looking at the cloud fall, you can definitely see a large area affected: Honduras, Nicaragua, Belize, Guatemala, Mexico already being affected by the storm. Water temperature is very warm, not going to really matter though, as it's going to make land interaction, and that will most likely weaken it a little bit. Looking at past 24-hour precipitation, you can see that little line of yellows and reds. That's where the storm has passed through. And now going over to wind speed, you can see a small area of purples and blues. The storm's very tiny for being a tropical storm, but definitely not the weakest. It can definitely do some damage to Belize. Now going over to intensity, 60 mile per hour winds, 998 millibars of pressure, and moving west at 17 miles per hour. And here's what I'm talking about: the Weather Channel app being broken, 113 miles per hour. It's actually going to be 113 kilometers per hour. That's in kph. Okay, guys, and same when it said inches. When I was looking at the pressure, that's actually in millibars. Here's the infrared. I'll show you on the Weather Channel app. The infrared, though, definitely you can see that storm. It's looking very good on the infrared imagery, at least. Now, I'm going to show you right now that the Weather Channel app is broken. Here you go. That's what it currently is at, and there you go. You can see 70 mile per hour winds. That will be the peak of it, not 113. In case you're worrying, that's going to be 70 mile per hour wind peak, which is not hurricane force winds. Here's the water vapor, and you know, it looks very good for only being a tropical storm. Now going over to the cone, plenty of watches and warnings, tropical storm watches all across the northern coast of Honduras, tropical storm warnings on the coast of Guatemala, Belize, and Mexico, and hurricane warnings on the coast of Belize and Guatemala. Chance of tropical storm force winds does not look good for Belize and Guatemala. They will probably be the most affected countries by tropical storm Nana. But also, you know, Mexico, Honduras, those two countries will also probably be affected pretty bad. And here are the models. Most of them say the exact same thing, which does not look good for Belize and Guatemala. Thank you for watching. If you want more tropical weather checkups, then definitely comment down below. Stay safe if you're living in Central America or South Korea and Japan. My blessings are with you. Stay safe. Bye, guys.